Welcome back to another episode of Dental Marketing Go. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I'm the owner of SMC National, where we help offices just like yours attract the right kind of patients so you can grow the way that you want. And today's episode is exactly about that. How do you attract the right kind of patients to your office? What I'm going to show you is a mapping technique that we use that I promise you've probably never seen. Unless you've talked to me before, you've probably never seen this. And it is so impactful. It gives you so much information and it does it really, really quickly. And so we're going to go over this. And at the end, I'm going to tell you how to get these maps for free 99. Dentists love free. I got you, dentist. All right. So we're going to be talking about this. And as you can see, if you're listening on a podcast, this is not going to be one of those good podcasts to listen to. You got to go over to YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. If you're on Facebook and you're watching right now, drop a comment below. We're live streaming. And let me know if you can see me and you can hear me and all that good stuff. So see this map here. This map is a market in Florida, and it has a lot of information on it. And so I'm just going to break it down on how you can actually attract the right kind of patients from this. Now, it's very important that you understand this. You cannot do a spray and pray technique or strategy. That's usually not going to work. You say, what's a spray and pray? Where we just put a radius around the office and we just hope that works. Now, occasionally it does work, and that's great. But for most people, it doesn't work. It doesn't attract the right kind of patients. There's a lot more nuance to marketing than just drawing a circle around your office, okay? Now, I picked this office on purpose because it's a very complicated office. So let me just break down a couple things. So you see this red dot, that's the office there. You see all the blue dots, that's their historic new patients. Then you see the 15-minute drive. And then you see the little, that's the blue line, the 15-minute drive there. And then you have all these little black dots with teeth in it. Those are direct competitors, okay? And then behind the map, or at the bottom layer of the map, you have income levels. So you have $85,000 a year annual household income, 55 to 85 is the middle gray, and then below 55 is the lower income areas. And so what you can see is you can begin to actually draw patterns. You can actually see where they have been historically drawing new patients. And this is crucial. Why is this so crucial? Well, you can actually start to strategize. So you can either say, hey, have the new patients that you've been getting, are those the right kind of patients? If the answer is yes, then we should continue to target the same kind of areas. If the answer is no, then we have to go and target different areas. We might have to target higher income areas. Now, this office is a little bit tricky because they're actually in a low income area and they want high income patients. So that makes it a little bit more complicated. I'm not going to dive into that today, but if you are an office like that, it does take more energy, more thought. You have to be much more thoughtful, okay? So now let's talk about what exactly is going on here. So these patients that you're seeing, the little blue dots here, let's say that you say, well, I don't want those types of patients. Then I'm going to need to go out into these other regions, these higher income regions, and attract those kinds of patients. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can plot your patients, and I'm going to tell you how we did it on this map. These are all patients that accepted over $2,000 in treatment, okay? And now, every office is different. Some offices are going to say, well, I only want to attract the patients that did over $5,000 of treatment or $10,000 of treatment. Or I only want to attract certain kinds of treatments. I only want to do people who accept aligners or accepted implants or accepted root canals or whatever it may be, right? So you can go in and figure out really quickly, okay, these are all the patients that have accepted these kinds of treatment, and then you can begin to plot those on the map. Here's the other cool part. You can also plot negative new patients, meaning the ones that you don't want to see. So you might go in and say, I want all the patients who only accepted a little bit of treatment or only had this kind of insurance. They only had ABC insurance. And so you can pull all those out and you can actually begin to plot these against a map. Okay? This is really, really cool because now it's going to show you where to market. Now, I'm going to show you at the end how to actually draw out your marketing targeting. But before I do that, I'm going to show you the same exact map that I was just showing you, but this is population. So now we have the population breakdown as well as the income breakdown. So you can start to see the darker areas are high population and the lighter areas are lower population. So if you remember, this area here is a high income area right here, this part of the map, but it's a lower population. The white areas are really low population. This is in Florida. You can see these white areas up in the corner of the map. These are like nobody lives there, right? And so the darker the area, the more people that live there. So you can see that even though this is a high income area, it's a lower population area. And historically, patients haven't been willing to drive down that direction, right? So that means one of two things. We either need to test marketing there to drive people down, or go with the historic data and try to drive patients from the area that we want. Now, here's where it gets even cooler. Then what you can do is you can start to run targeting. So you can then say, okay, well, I want to run all my marketing to these green areas and block out the red areas. This is a targeting just done off of income, not done off of patient data. So this is a little bit more complicated. People probably aren't going to be willing to drive this far. So this campaign isn't going to work. But you can draw these out however you want. And then you can go into Google Ads or Facebook, and you can actually start to target people based on the mapping that you have here. So if you want these maps, if you're listening live right now, let's see how we're doing on the live. We got 6 people listening right now live. And if you're listening on YouTube afterwards, you can actually drop a comment below and just say, hey, I want those maps. And we will get you these maps. We'll put them together. Now, if you're on YouTube, comment on YouTube, and then we're going to direct you over to Instagram to have a conversation with us so we can get your info and build out these maps. They do take a little bit of time. We do have to collect some information from you. We have to hop on a call with you, but they're very, very useful. You can hand these right over to your marketing company and say, here's what I want. Historically, this is what I've been getting, and this is what I want in the future. And that will work really well, and it will help you out with your marketing right away. The other thing that you can do with these is that you can actually plot historic patients, or you can try to figure out where to place an office. So you can plot any kind of patient, anything that you can think of patient-wise that you can pull the data for, their addresses, you can put those on the maps, and you can do different things with that, different kinds of marketing, that basically whatever creativity that you can come up with. But there we dropped a comment that he wants those maps. Awesome. We'll get those for you. What you can do is you can also decide where to open up your next office. So I don't have any maps like this right in front of me, but we can run maps with multiple locations. And you can start to figure out if you're cannibalizing yourself too. If you have multiple locations, you need to be careful how you do your marketing, because you can actually end up competing against yourself. So there's lots of uses for these maps, and we want to get them into your hands. So comment below. We'll build these out for you. We'll be able to help you right away figure out what's working, what's not working with your marketing, and we look forward to talking to you soon.